was. No wizard that there is or was is ever gonna bring me. No Minhee Jin or Bang PD is ever gonna bring me down. POVM New Jeans. Ugh. What awful news, truly. I think that's good. Welcome back to another episode of Asian Glow Podcast. Today I am the Wicked Witch, but also I'm the Wicked Witch to the outside, but on the inside I'm just another one of you girls. I'm just another girl, y'all. I'm just one of y'all. I'm really just one of you guys. You know what I'm saying? If you know what this shirt is. Thanksgiving just ended, and of course, around this time of year, it is when we are supposed to spend time with family, spend time with whether that be your chosen family or your genetic family. Well, this time of year is most important for all of us who are really, really annoying. And that is because around the end of November and the beginning of December, a major life event happens. Nope, it's not the election. Nope, it's not the Wicked movie coming out. Ugh. It is Spotify Wrapped. You know, Spotify Wrapped. As in what you guys need to be doing when you're in the sheet. Can I just be really annoying here? And can I just share my Spotify Wrapped? Is that okay with everyone? Because contrary to what people say, I care deeply about your Spotify Wrapped. I care so incredibly deeply about people's Spotify Wrapped because it says a lot about you. And it helps me. I don't assume things about you, but I do think I hate you. I don't like you. You are probably stupid. Also, from a podcast perspective, I haven't gone through like the spot Wrapped for creators. I already knew what my Spotify Wrapped was gonna be. As everyone. I did create a whole podcast episode on the album Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande, by Glinda, formerly known as Ariana Grande. Now she is known as Glinda the Good, but it's good parentheses, not that good because in the movie, you'll see what I'm saying. But formerly known as Ariana Grande, Glinda had an album this year called Eternal Sunshine. And if you listen to this, you know what it is. Girl, you gay. I will say I do teach dance and choreograph dance, so my Spotify Wrapped kind of screwed me because in order to choreograph to music, you have to listen to that song over and over again. So my number one song was Greedy by Tate McRae, which I do like, but I just choreographed to it, so that's why I played it many times. But my number 2 song was Bye by Ariana Grande. Number 3 song was The Boy Is Mine by Ariana Grande. And number 4 is True Story by Ariana Grande. And number 5 is Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. What I am really, really grateful for, besides Grande and Glinda herself, is that this year, drum roll please, there was no music from Glee Cast. Woo! We are growing. We are growing up in here. Character development. We are finally out of the trenches that is Ryan Murphy's butthole. I do love Glee, but I'm happy it's no longer in there. But I am afraid that when I look at my further in depth, like top songs of the year, it's going to be. Okay, now on to my top artists. I listened 56,000 minutes this year. And guys, I saw some of y'all in the Discord have over 200,000 minutes on Spotify. Close the app! Number 5 is Tyla. Inhale harder. I had a Tyla summer, and then I had a Brat fall, which leads me to number 4. Charlie XCX is my number 4. Number 3 is Tate McRae. I listen to Tate McRae. I love that woman. Like, that's a woman. And I feel like that just comes from, like, a dancer perspective. And, like, I love pop girls. You know what I'm saying? But Tate McRae music, I like to choreograph to a lot of Number 2 is Sabrina Carpenter. Duh. And number 1 is Miss Ariana Grande. So that was my main Spotify Wrapped. I absolutely hated. You know how it was like, in July, you were 69 finger butthole K-pop. And then in August, you are getting railed Vogue style roller skate blade. Like, what was all that? I was just say it. Like, I have mine. July was your Hallyu Vogue K-pop phase. Just say gay. It was your Hallyu Vogue K-pop phase. You're really into artists like LE SSERAFIM, Rise, and Tomorrow by Together. Like, just hate crime me at that point. And then August was your Pink Pilates Princess Catwalk Afrobeats. What? Pink? Oh. And goodness knows. Pilates? Ariana Grande. She does Pilates. Princess? What the fuck? I was in my Glinda era in August and Wicked wasn't even out. Catwalk? Yes, and Ariana Grande music video. Afrobeat season. That's not Ariana. That was a past Ariana though. So now I want to go through the Wrapped for creators because this sounds very interesting and I also really like this. So we're going to go through this together. Okay, 2024 Wrapped. Asian Girl Podcast with Clarence Angelo. Wrapped season is here. Let's go. Fans are really loving your show in 2024. Your fans have a clear favorite. Oh God, here we go. Jesus Christ. Are you kidding? Guys, is this really the top episode of the year? Ultimate K-pop boyfriend girlfriend tier list? Y'all are all just horny, huh? What the hell? Other than your show. Oh my God, this is my favorite. I love this. Number 1, Rotten Mango. Yup. Number 2, Baking a Murder by Rotten Mango. Under the Influence. Oh. Audiobook genres. This is my new favorite, actually. Audiobook genres that you guys listen to the most is romance. Loser! You're a loser. You're single. You're a loser. Freaking loser. Number 2, fiction and literature. Freaking loser. Nerd. You're kidding. The number 1 thing y'all listen to is romance. And number 3 is biography and memoir. Softy. Me having only memoirs on my shelf. Or a top 10 show for, oh my God, top 10 show for almost 8,000 people. You're a top 5 show for almost 6,000 people. Wait, that's like a really good ratio. That's crazy. I'm trying to I used to I don't know if this is you guys, but whenever you see results, you try to not comprehend it or you don't want to come off as so in my past, I always try to but I've gone to therapy recently and they're you need to come to terms with your achievements. And so I guess I'll share that with you guys. Okay, now we're gonna talk for just a few minutes on Wicked. Okay, and just bear with me. When I hyperfixate on a movie, it is rare, and when it happens, I often keep it bottled up inside, and it just keeps me at the prison bars of my own brain. I haven't felt this way about a movie in so long. I truly haven't. And it makes me emotional. Genuinely, this movie makes me so emotional. Call me a softie, just like the whole world is calling Cynthia and Ariana Grande softies for being emotionally available for each other. So, coming into Wicked, let's start with that. Coming into Wicked, I've never seen the play, and I was really upset because actually the play was the first show ever wasn't even on Broadway. It was in San Francisco. Opening night was in San Francisco, and I lived in San Francisco when it was opening night, but me and my family were not rich enough to get tickets at the time. So I was like, oh my God, I've always been around Wicked. The whole city turned green and pink when it was happening, and so this happening now is kind of full circle, but I never got to watch it, and I didn't know anything about Wicked. I just knew it was about a kind of a take on The Wizard of Oz. Never seen it. And also, when I was going into the movie, it was obviously being hyped up a lot because I follow Ariana Grande, and she's been talking about the movie since she got the role of Glinda years ago. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this movie is going to have a lot of hype around it. And anytime I watch a movie when there's a lot of hype around it, typically I am disappointed because even though I try to not have high expectations of it, I end up having expectations of it because of the public, right? And so it was really hyped up. I watched it in IMAX. It was a wonderful experience. And I think for me, what makes a movie really, really memorable, what makes anything memorable is if there is such a clear hype around it and it still somehow blows me away. And that's how La La Land felt for me. That I know some people don't like La La Land, but La La Land blew me away. Now, during the movie, this part is a little abnormal. This part is a little abnormal because I did cry 6 minutes into the movie. I swear to God, when Miss Let us be glad. Let us be grateful. Let us rejoice that goodness can subdue. I cried when Miss Galinda Grande, said, "It's nice to see me, isn't it?" I love seeing people live out their dreams, and so just seeing her live out her dreams, I was just like so happy to see her. And I don't know. I feel like if you're a fan of her, and she literally had the song popular on Yours Truly, or was it Yours Truly or My Everything? Like, you know how much it's meant to her. So like, I don't know. My friends were like, "You good?" I was like, "Yeah, it's just I'm happy she's living her dream," and that's my favorite arc. Like, just seeing people live out their dreams. My main big takeaway I wrote down from the movie was how complicated it is to sympathize politically when you cannot empathize, but more importantly, how it is possible. The scene that really kind of put this in the nail in the coffin was the Ozda scene, the part where they're all dancing. And I'm not gonna give too many spoilers, but the Ozda scene is a point where Galinda, they're at this like kind of dance club vibe, and Elphaba, the Green Witch, Cynthia Erivo, comes in, and everyone's basically laughing at her because of what she's wearing, and like she was fooled by Galinda, Ariana's character, to wear this hat, which is the Wicked Witch hat, and everyone's like, "That's such an ugly hat," and everyone's like, "You're such a loser, you look stupid." And essentially, Elphaba makes the decision to, yes, this is an ugly hat, but I'm going to just be myself right now. I'm just going to pour it all. This is who I am, and I'm going to... She does a dance. And the dance, comparatively to what a normal ball dance is, where everyone's kind of like this, or like everyone's kind of moving the way that they move in Oz, Elphaba's movements are a lot more sharp and a lot more pointed and a lot more strong rather than they're flowy and pretty, right? And everyone's kind of laughing at first, then they're kind of scared, and there's this whole thing, and then Ariana kind of feels this pain because she was like, "I gave her that hat. I'm the reason why everyone's laughing at her. I'm the reason why she's in pain." It's a moment where, oh my God, I just thought of this. It's a moment where someone who is of privilege recognizes that what I just did has caused an immense amount of pain for another human being. And so while Elphaba is doing this dance, right, that's super pointed and super different than everyone else, and everyone's laughing at her, Galinda, Ariana, gets the opportunity. She decides that, you know what, I'm going to mimic this dance in a way that's like, I'm here with you, not copying it, not making fun of it. She's like, I'm gonna mimic this dance, and this is my kind of apology for this, and I understand you now. Besides obviously the scene that made everyone cry, just them dancing together and finally showing this sense of understanding, what I really appreciated was this like intentional scene where Fanny and Bang-chan Fanny and Shen-Shen, Fanny and Bang-chan, Fanny and Shen-Shen, who are like Galinda's like two girlies, which by the way, Bo and Yang, I fucking love you, bitch. Fanny and Shen-Shen are like, "Galinda, what are you doing, girl? Like, don't be doing all this. Like, why are you trying to dance with her? Like, you look stupid. Don't be doing it." And Galinda makes a decision to be like, "No. Like, what? I'm gonna do it." She says no. And she starts to dance with her, and they start crying. And obviously, I start crying because it's like, it's just understanding. It's like someone being there for you, even if they don't understand your background whatsoever, you know, anyone who's a person of color who's experienced real trauma, person who's queer, I feel like all of us just cried watching that, because it was the first, like, this is gonna sound so funny, but like, that's real ally shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, real ally shit, of course, like, you can say all these things about how you can accept whoever, but real ally shit is like when the going gets tough and you have to publicly show at the cost of your own potential image that you align and feel for them. It was such a good scene. It just like reminded me of like who in my life truly has been such a support to me growing up in Texas, and who in my life wasn't. And I've lost so many friends and have been hurt by so much of my own bloodline because of this just lack of understanding of who I truly am as a human being. Because I grew up with what I thought was so much love from friends, and I thought was so much love from family, but I realize it's conditional love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't love me and appreciate me as a friend if you don't acknowledge those parts of me. You know what I'm saying? That I'm different. You can't love me that, like, we love each other for our similarities, but that love means nothing to me if you can't love our differences. Does that make any sense? It's like that quote that the quote that people always like find to be so political, but I find it to be not political at all. The James Baldwin quote. What is it? It's James Baldwin. We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. We can disagree and still love. If we disagree, that is a wonderful thing. You know? It sparks conversation, and as a yapper, let's freaking talk, you know? But if our disagreement is that you think my family doesn't deserve to have rights, you just truly don't think that in the way that you vote, in the way that you think behind closed doors, then I cannot agree to disagree with you. Because when the going gets tough and my family is held at gunpoint, whether that be metaphorically or actually real, if you would not stand by us in that situation, then what the fuck am I to keep you in my life? Like, you know the phrase through thick or thin? If you can't be there through my thick, and I've been there through your thick, and you can only be there through my thin, which you guys know what that means, what am I doing with you in my life? You know? Like, you're not my friend. I'm entertainment to you. I'm stimulation to you. I'm brain stimulation for you. What am I? You know? I can't be friends with someone like that. And I just don't get why I need to explain myself. The number one thing is like, when people are like, oh, why would you cut someone out for not having same political opinions as you? For that exact reason. I take very, very deep pride in being from Texas. And although it is a shithole and a hellhole many times, I take pride in that I'm from Texas. I grew up in Texas. I grew up around wonderful families in Texas. But I also grew up in California, where it's the complete opposite mindset, you know? And I grew up in California for 11 years of my life. Grew up in Texas now for 13 years of my life. I see the value of both things. Like, don't be fucking accusing me of not being able to agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so how this ties to the movie. Oh my God, how did I get here? How this ties to the movie is that Glinda had the opportunity in front of society to just let Elphaba look stupid and let her continue to feel isolated and misunderstood, when Glinda had the actual power and the actual heart and the actual mind to understand her. And because she did, she made the active effort to be there as a human in allyship for someone who maybe she doesn't fully understand, but can get parts of her. Does that make sense? And her having literally Fanny and Shen Shen literally be like, stop, and continuing to do it. That's exactly a replication of what happens now. When you see someone who is a minority or someone who doesn't have it maybe as good foundationally in America going through it, you as someone who has the power and the privilege to kind of help can still find a way to understand and be like, you know what, I'm a human and I understand what it feels like to be embarrassed at the very least and what it feels like to be isolated. So let me just help this person from that pain. So it just reminded me of all the people in my life who have given me that support, and I really love you. I have so many friends in my mind that I think about when it comes to that kind of stuff. I like my friend Katie, my friend Lauren, my friend Sanj, my friend T, my college friends, obviously, my friend McKenna from high school. Like, these are all people who I truly like. I really owe them a lot because I was being myself so unapologetically, and like I think I was so gratefully able to do that because of these people in my life. And it just means like it just meant the world to me. So I think that's probably why I was crying watching that, because I was like, oh, it's just the power of allyship. I don't know. Anyways, overall thoughts, this movie made me so happy and also so sad. Happy because it was a great movie. I was reliving my like kind of band orchestra kid vibes again, but it also made me a little sad. And obviously for the plot, obviously was sad, but the reason why it made me a little sad because I was low-key like, I don't know if this pick me energy. I was low-key like, oh, I wish I continued my dream in working in film. You know, like I was low-key like, okay, growing up in an Asian household, you guys know how hard it is to have expectations to like do a certain major. Typically, parents want you to do a major in STEM. A little bit of an insider to like how I grew up. When I was going to college, I really, really, really wanted to go to film school, and I begged my parents to go to film school, and unfortunately, I did not get the green light to go to film school. And I went to business school instead, and I learned so much in business school. I met my best friends in business school, and I was good at it. I was good at it. I did things in high school that prepared me for it. I got into a great business school. But I think when I graduated and had the offer, there was still this part of me that wished they went to film school. So I did this like film festival the second I graduated. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this film festival with the 4 months that I have left of my freedom before I enter corporate America, right? So I did a film festival. And I secretly did this. I was still living at my parents' house at the time because I wanted to move into my apartment when my job started, which I had a 4-month time, basically my last summer after graduating. I was with my parents. And so I was like in my room kind of creating this short film, and I did well in the film festival. And it brought me to a film festival, and I was meeting other filmmakers who majored in film, and like I got along so well. I hung out with them until like 4 a.m. I was around other creatives. It was just like great, and it was just one of the happiest moments of my life to be around other film festival people, other filmmakers, and I met them because I did well in the film festival. So I moved forward. I got to travel because I moved forward with this film that I made, right? Whatever. Seeing this movie again kind of made me be like, oh, if I do have a regret in life, maybe it is that I didn't do film. And that's why I became a YouTuber, because I was like, you know what? If I don't get the curriculum, I'm gonna get a camera anyways. I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna tell a story anyways. And that's why I became a YouTuber. So I am getting that itch from YouTube. But I will say, just from the professional perspective, I was like, oh my god, I really wish I was a part of this production, you know, part of the storytelling, or just any storytelling. Obviously everyone wants to be a part of Wicked. It kind of made me want to talk about passion in today's episode, like the sometimes fleeting thought that maybe doing what you're passionate about is stupid, you know, that fleeting thought that many of us who do our passion or have a passion think of, like maybe this thought that maybe doing my passion is stupid. Why not just stick to the stability and the mundaneness of a corporate job? Because it's like I can buy what I want. I can live in a decent apartment. I can do all that, right? And let me preface before I get into what I'm going to say today that this is separate from having a corporate job for stability. Girl, I had a corporate job. I am very well aware that many of us, in order to pursue a passion, need to have a source of income for stability. Girl, I did that. I worked literally 3 years in corporate America, and saved up enough from this to now make this my full-time career. So it's like, I'm aware. Just get that preface out of the way. I really wanted to get to the girls and the boys out there who have a passion. This is kind of like a self-therapy thing for me too, because I need to remind myself of these things. But I wanted to talk about why this idea or this thought that passes by your brain, passes by your brain. Can I speak? That maybe doing your passion is stupid. That's such a faulty thought, and I can convince you all you want to do your passion, but I'm not going to force anyone to do anything. So I just had these. I wanted to share 3 kind of prompts and questions that I was asked in my lifetime that help always realign me or just reconsider whether or not I should continue my passion. And I'm not going to force you guys to do it or not. I just want you guys to think about this. First question I was asked was, if you dropped your passion and were on your deathbed in 3 years, would you regret it? I'm just going to let you think about that one. Because again, what is this podcast? I'm not a professional, but I can help you think, I guess. That's unprofessional help, but very empathetic and thought-provoking friend that will help you think. So just think about these answers. So that's the first question. If you dropped your passion and were on your deathbed in 3 years, would you regret it? The second question is, if you dropped pursuing your passion right now, would you truly be able to tell yourself, I tried my very best and that's all I can do? Do you really believe that you could tell yourself, I tried my very best to get there and I didn't get it? Can you look at your kindergarten version of yourself or the high school version of yourself that figured out this was your passion, or the college version of yourself that figured out it was your passion, and really tell that person, I tried my best. That was my best. Trying not to sway as much as possible, but I feel like I am. Okay, and then number 3 is this one I got from Victoria Monet. She said, with your passion, would you want that end goal or whatever, even if someone told you it would take 15 years? That's what Victoria Monet said. She said, you can take the freeway if you want to get somewhere fast, or you can take the streets and learn a little bit more and meet so many more people on the way. You may be, in comparison, arriving a little bit later than everyone else, but if you say yes, put your whole heart into it. That's what she said. The last thing for me on those is, like, I think we all know what our answers were to those questions, and if you didn't, then think about truly why you're hesitating. Like, we all kind of know, like, our answers to those questions. When you do what you're passionate about, when it gets hard, I feel like it's a lot harder than when it's like a work issue or a normal job problem. You know what I'm saying? Because when you fail a little bit at your passion, you can't help but take it personally, you know? If you fail at your job, sometimes you're like, I didn't fucking like this shit anyways, you know? But when your passion pursuit gets hard, these are maybe some questions that can help. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyways. And let me just end with this. If you are truly feeling burnt out and your thoughts about your passion are really falling out, if you're not going to be passionate for yourself, be passionate for the world. You know exactly how it feels to be inspired by a passion project. And so, why rob that from the world, or rob that potential that you could offer that to the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do that? Why drain the world more of this, like, vibrant essence of being passionate about something? All this being said, I wanted to kind of end with this because around this time of year is when I get kind of burnt out with my passion projects and everything. Even if you're alone in your passion projects, by doing so, your life will at some point be filled with people who are also passionate about things, and that just makes it easier, and that makes it more wonderful, and that makes life so much more beautiful because you can, like, just live so deeply and live so, I don't know, fun. It's just fun, you know? What's wrong with a little bit of fun? So, anyways, those are my 3 questions to end the day. How that related to Wicked, I don't know. It kind of inspired me, but I wanted to kind of end with that before I go to Asia for the year. I have a bunch of episodes coming out while I'm gone, so it's not going to feel like I'm gone, but I pre-filmed a bunch of episodes with Alcheska. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope everyone is going to have a good year. I'm going to be eating grapes under the table. I'm going to be doing all of it into the new year. And hopefully you can take a little bit of what I said today into consideration for the new year. Please consider subscribing if you've been watching for a while. It really helps us out a ton. I have a bunch of content coming out from being in Asia, and I really appreciate if you guys watched it because I feel like, I don't know, it's like a new skill that I want to grow, like making little cinematography, enhancing my cinematography skills, and I'm gonna say bye like I normally do in my respective language. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Ingat!
I was yours for the taking. Guess I needed